What's up YouTube, my Cowboys family here, bringing you guys another video on the Cowboys and their training camp. Let's get right to it. So let's start off with injuries. So who is still injured on the Cowboys team so far?
Well, still Switzer, Ryan Switzer, our rookie, is still injured. Malik Collins is also injured. Now both of those guys, they are day-to-day with Switzer with a hamstring and Collins with a hip flexor, but today they were actually working out with the athletic training staff, which is a good sign. Means they're going to probably be back right after this Hall of Fame game. They'll be back in full pads and running with the rest of the team. So that's good progress.
Tyron Smith probably will not be playing in this upcoming Hall of Fame game. No major injury. They said he was dealing with some back tightness, so they just wanted to rest him and make sure he would be all right. Yeah,
last year he had a lot of that issue, and actually throughout his career. So it's a good thing they're resting. Remember, everybody, we have an extra week of practice, an extra game. So the Cowboys are taking it very, 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 very cautiously with all their players, especially the superstars like Tyron Smith and all our players that are taking vet days and all that stuff. There's a reason for that. In other news, with Jalen Smith, there's been promising signs with him as well. He's not been playing with his ankle brace as often. He's still going to need it for the next 6 to 9 months, but he's been playing without it at times, which is really good sign in practice. The bad thing is we're probably not going to see much of him in this upcoming game.
So, yes, owner of the team, of course, Lenny Jones, came out and interviewed and said that Jalen Smith is unlikely to play in this upcoming game. In other Cowboys training camp related news, a few players definitely stood out from today's morning practice.
Yes, Rod Smith had a lot of goal line touches. With Alfred Morris scored once, but Rod Smith scored like 4 or 5 times. Did very well playing goal line situations, so you're going to see him playing that a lot, and I think that's something to look forward to this first preseason game. Keep an eye on Rod Smith. We also had Stephen Paella again. We've been talking about him in all our videos. This guy, number 55, he's been fantastic, and I'm just watching some of the video. He just keeps getting through our front starting offensive linemen. So he's somebody we're going to really want to keep an eye on. I think he might even possibly challenge Cedric Thornton for a starting spot. And even though Cedric Thornton did do a couple good plays today, Paella is still just like, he's not letting down at all. He's not really giving up much. So I mean, to me, he's not showing any kind of lacking skill, or he just continues to improve every day. So really happy about him. Now, as far as this game coming up in 2 days on Thursday, there's going to be a bunch of Cowboy players that are not going to be there at the game, mainly because of injuries.
So yeah, a majority of our injured players obviously aren't going. That includes Switzer, Durant, Lewis, Irving, Collins, and Chaz Green.
Right, and of course we know about all these guys. The only one you might not really know what's going on with and why is Justin Durant, mainly because he's an 11-year vet, kind of an older guy, and they're just kind of taking it easy again because we've had an extra week of training camp, an extra preseason game. After this Hall of Fame game, Durant should be in full pads, ready to go.
And to wrap things up, we're going to give you guys the list of players to definitely watch out for in this upcoming Hall of Fame game. Just keep your eyes open for them. Let us know what you think.
So now let's look into position by position, the guys we need to really kind of key on for this first preseason game on Thursday. Let's start with quarterbacks. Kellen Moore, which is our current backup, number 17, will be battling with Luke McCown for that second spot. Luke McCown's number 3. You're also going to see a lot of Cooper Rush probably in the 3rd and 4th quarter. He's probably not going to make the team. But it's good to keep an eye on all these 3 guys. Cooper Rush is number 7. Running backs. Okay, now this is more for the lower. Forget about Zeke and McFadden. Probably not going to see much of them. But Alfred Morris will be playing a lot because he's trying to save his job. And his number is number 46. Number 45 is Rod Smith, as we've talked about in the past, that he's going to be challenging Alfred Morris, a serious challenge to get him off the team. So look into that matchup during the Hall of Fame game. We also have Ronnie Hillman, who's a completely different type of running back than anybody we have on our team. I personally think he's going to have a good chance to make the team. Number 37, keep an eye on him for this Hall of Fame game. He'll probably get a lot of play. Now moving on to the receivers. Really, the main guy I want to look at is Noah Brown. He's our rookie. I think it was 6th round pick. He's a big receiver like Dez, like I mentioned before, and I think he's somebody that could show some life in this Hall of Fame game.
So watch out for number 85.
Yep, and number 85, correct. And then Rico Gathers, the tight end, number 80, as all Cowboy fans know. He's a former basketball player. He's on the bubble. It's going to be interesting to see him. And again, his blocking and his whole play at tight end is going to be the next 5 weeks is going to determine his status with the Cowboys.
I have a feeling it's do or die for Rico Gathers.
Yeah, so that's number 80. Keep an eye on him. Now, moving to the linemen. Really, the only thing we know about La'el Collins, number 71, if he plays at all, keep an eye on him because he's kind of new to the right tackle spot. But we were really looking at the left guard spot where we have Chaz Green, who got injured. He's not going to be there for at least, I've heard 10 to 14 days. So that opens it up. Now Jonathan Cooper, he's going to be so far the lead guy for that spot. So you'll see him starting. He's number 64. Byron Bell, number 75, he will be challenging him for that spot, so keep an eye on him. And I mean, that's going to be an important decision and an important battle to determine the fifth piece of our offensive line, which is really what our entire team runs on. Now let's jump on defense here. Of course, our number 1 pick, Taco Charlton, he's going to be out there playing a lot, number 97. Also keep an eye on number 99, Charles Tapper. He was one of our picks from last season, and he's going to be battling for that front defensive end spot to share some time within the rotation with the other guys on the line.
Number 99, Charles Tapper.
Right, and now that's a defensive end. Now defensive tackle, again, we mentioned him earlier, Stephen Paella, number 55. He's looking like the dark horse, in my opinion, to make the team and start in the front line. So you want to watch him, and you also want to watch Cedric Thornton, number 92. He's going to be trying to save his starting spot, which I think is going to be an interesting battle in training camp. But because we have so many injuries with defensive tackles, and with Malik Collins, he's not going to be playing. With Tyrone Crawford, he's going to play in and out, so he can play tackle and end. And like someone like David Irving, who's will be playing tackle as well, defensive tackle. There's not really much room there for. You're going to see a lot of guys that are probably not going to make the team, but we want to keep an eye on 2 guys, number 55 and number 92 on that front inside defensive front. Moving back to the linebacker spot. Now, we initially thought Jalen Smith was going to play. We're hearing things that he's probably not going to play. Probably the safest thing, again, because of the extra week of training camp and the extra preseason game. But we're all dying to see him out there, and he's got to get out there soon so we can see him hit full pads against opposing teams. In the meantime, though, because of his injury, it's opened up other people, and a couple of guys have looked really good, especially this guy named Neal. His number is 52. Keep an eye on him. He's kind of getting into that place where he's going to be a bubble player, maybe make a practice squad, maybe try to crack into the 53-man roster. Somebody to keep an eye on. And another guy, Lenny Jones, number 56. Another guy to just kind of keep an eye on for this Hall of Fame game. Moving to the backfield, the defensive backs, we have Cheeto, of course, Chidobe Awuzie.
He's number 33.
Number 33, don't forget that, Tony Dorsett fans. So Cheeto's going to be out there probably playing a lot. And also with Jordan Lewis, unfortunately being injured, we're not going to be able to see much of him in this game. But that's going to open the door for Marquez White, our other draft pick, cornerback, who, again, dropped a little bit, but he's looking strong in training camp, and it's going to be exciting to see him. He's number 39. Can't forget him. That's Brandon Carr's old number, thank goodness. Hopefully that bad luck won't follow him. But he's looking good, and he's going to be playing a lot as well in this upcoming game, so that's something to look for. Now, jumping back to our safety, of course, you know our 2 starters, but we're going to have Robert Blanton, who's a veteran from Buffalo, number 36. He's someone you want to watch. He's kind of like a Barry Church kind of guy, a Wilcox kind of hitter. So he's going to be playing some, and he's a veteran. And we also have on the other opposite side of that, basically a smaller, faster, more raw talent, but a rookie, Xavier Woods, which we all know from a small school. He'll be out there playing a lot, number 25. And it should be fun to see them out there too throughout the game. And just to wrap things up, keep an eye on special teams. We have 2 guys I want to really watch, and that's number 23, Leon McFadden, who's a cornerback. And then we have number 35, Kevon Frazier, who's both these guys have been on the team because of their special teams play. Not really because of their coverage, but from what I've seen, Leon McFadden has a slight advantage over Frazier right now because of his coverage skills if we needed a cornerback or a safety back there. So keep an eye on those 2 guys on the field when they're playing defense, and also keep an eye on them on special teams.
So that is pretty much it for today, guys, giving you guys our thoughts on training camp. By the way, don't forget about our game day live stream that we're going to be having.
Right, on Thursday. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, East Coast time, 8 p.m. Thursday, August 3rd. It's It's going to be on NBC. We're going to be watching the game while we're live streaming with our reactions and our comments. And one last thing I wanted to mention is that tomorrow we're planning on putting out up a video with basically discussing our predictions on the 53-man roster for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, it's a prediction, it's a guess, but I would say about 45 guys are pretty much set. So it's really about 10 or 15 guys that are up in the air on the bubble. So we're going to be discussing that tomorrow in a very long special for all the fans watching. And, give us our comments about that. But that's coming tomorrow.
So let us know your thoughts on today's video down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss any of our daily updates. And, of course, as always,
Go Cowboys!